Today we are going to be reading this what's it called? A Christmasaurus Carol by Tom Fletcher, I think that's his name. I don't know. Will be sponsored by iMovie. So let's get onto this video right away. By the way, it's not going to be one video, it's going to be episode like chapter 1, 2, like that. Okay, let's get started. So the book is meant to be like this, so I'll show you it like this, and then Christmasaurus Carol. You can read this, screenshot it, and then these are the chapters. Today we're reading this one. Let's read it. Let's start now. So, I'm going to start reading. It's all began at Christmas. I suppose you are excited this book to be a fun festival adventure with a flying blue dinosaur Santa, elves, William Trundle, and all the other things that you would usually find in a Christmasaurus story. Well, I got good news and bad news. The good news is that all that is going to happen. Dinosaurs, Santa, the whole jungle. The bad news is that in order to tell you that story, I must first tell you a little bit of another one. Now, I know what you're thinking. Starting a story with a totally different story seems a bit silly, and you're right. It's a bit daft, but it's very important. In fact, Christmas itself depends on it. So here's the first page. I really like all these designs and stuff. They're really, really cool, and I really like it. Why? Because stories are powerful. Some stories are so powerful that they can leap out of their own books and into pages of another's. Some characters are so good, or in case, so bad, that they find themselves floating out of their books altogether and into the minds and hearts and imaginations of the reader. That's you and me crossing into the world. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get back to this story. The other story. It all began at Christmas in London a long, long time ago. A time when there was horse and carts instead of cars and buses. Coals fires instead of nice toasty radiators. And chocolate section books hasn't been invented yet, so children had to make do with roasted chestnut. This cold, frosty old city was warmed by the family signs of Christmas that we can still have today. Holly wreaths hung on doors. Children make snowmans in the park while their parents stole kisses under bridges of mistletoes. Gross! And the smell of mince pie wafted from the busy shops. Merry Christmas, said one gentleman to another with a tip of his tall hat, which people used to wear instead of woolly bobbles hats in those days. And in the distance, a Christmas carol was being sung by a choir of children as they were from door to door, spreading seasonal cheer. It was as Christmassy as a picture on a Christmas card. But don't get too excited, as someone was about to enter this festival scene who was as un-Christmassy as you could possibly imagine. Click, clack, click, clack. His hard footsteps on the cold cobbles caught the attention of a small child in the park. It's him, the boy whispered. He's coming. Another child trembled, quick stuffing a carrot into her snowman's face before dashing to find her parents. Click, clack, click, clack. If you guys are enjoying this book, please subscribe and leave in a comment. As I said, I do read your comments. This is really cool as well. So after every page, I'm going to show you it. Sometimes I might forget. So I'll put it in the post if I forget. Comment down below there. Click, clack. As the footsteps got closer, the flames from the street lamps cast the grim shadow of this miserable man onto the wall, which seems to gaze over with a fresh layer of frost as he approached. The jolly jumble of Christmas shoppers scrambled inside the buildings to avoid him, and wisps of names seemed to conjure an icy wind that howled along the streets, blowing wreaths of doors, snuffled out candles, and carrying the merry sounds of Christmas away into the night. It was as though his very presence was enough to extinguish any signs of Christmas, as the snowman's nose fell on as this ghastly gentleman passed. He was as tall as least he would have been if he had stood up straight. Instead, he hunched over slightly, as though he was being pulled down by the weight of his own misery. "Humbug," he muttered to himself through his sharp lips, as his narrow eyes observed the prize turkey hanging in the butcher's window. For, as you have probably guessed, this misery of a man hated Christmas. Actually, hate isn't a strong enough word for how he felt about Christmas. Let me look in the dictionary for a better one. Let me see my dictionary. Oh, I found it. Dislike? Nope, still not strong enough. Loathed? Not quite. Detested? Getting better. Resented? Almost. The thing is, when it comes to Christmas, this amount for all those words put together. That's it. There's loathed and scented Christmas. Alright, that's a bit silly and made up. But there's one word in the dictionary that sums up this miserable man perfectly. And it just so happens to be him. His name. Scrooge. Ebenezer Scrooge, to be precise. Perhaps you heard of him. He's a sprout on your Christmas dinner plate, the coffee-flavoured disappointment in your box of chocolate, the pair of socks disguised by a parasol under the tree. When it comes to this loathing Christmas, he's the goat, grinchiest of all. And if old Scrooge had his way, he'd get rid of Christmas altogether. We don't need to worry, though. Ebenezer Scrooge is a merely character in a very famous old book called A Christmas Carol by an author named Charles Dickens. He is not real, right? Well, no, that's not quite true. If you leave a book closed and unread, it's almost as the people and places inside it don't exist at all. But once you open it up, and those words start to ping around somebody's mind like these are pinking around, you're right. Those people are set free in the wilds of your imagination. That is why we must be very careful as we step into the next part of this story together, that we don't let any steps out. Very good drawing. That's it for today. Tomorrow we'll read chapter 1. So that's it for today. Please leave a like. It's going to be an episode videos. I don't know how much. I think there'll be 32 episodes of this. I'll leave it in my profile. Bye. See you today.